King David captured Jerusalem from the Jebusites, a Canaanite tribe. King Solomon his son succeeded him and constructed the first temple and made it his capital. He followed the detailed plans that God had given to King David through the prophet Nathan. King David wanted to build it himself but was told that his son would be the one to do it. It served as the primary place of worship for the Israelites and housed the Ark of the Covenant. When the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, conquered Jerusalem, he destroyed the first temple. Scant remains of the temple are still found on the south hill of the city of David. Before petitioning the Persian king Artaxerxes, Nehemiah prayed and fasted to God for 4 months to return to his home and reinforce Jerusalem's city walls after hearing about the desolate state of Jerusalem and its walls. Upon returning to Jerusalem, he surveyed the ruined walls and devised a plan for their restoration, which he executed with great skill and energy. He gathered the local leaders and encouraged them to join him in rebuilding. Herod the Great added the second wall between the Temple Mount and Jaffa Gate. He refurbished and expanded the second temple, which was originally built under the authority of Zerubbabel. It was also during this period that Jesus was in Jerusalem. During the Roman period, the Second Temple and Jerusalem were destroyed by Titus' army. It is a matter of dispute about how the Third Temple will ultimately be rebuilt. For Jews who believed the Temple's destruction was punishment for sin and rebellion, the Third Temple would signify redemption and the second coming of the Messiah. The Western Wall, also known as the Har Kotel Hamaravi, the Kotel for short or Wailing Wall, is the last remaining part of the Second Temple complex after its destruction. It is called the Western Wall because it is located on the western side of the Temple Mount, then called Mount Moriah, where the binding of Isaac by his father Abraham took place. The Wailing Wall reflects the lamentation, weeping, and mourning of Jews at the site over the destruction of the temples. This ancient limestone wall is particularly revered because it is the closest accessible site to the Holy of Holies, the innermost part of the ancient temple, which was believed to be the dwelling place of God's presence on earth. The Ark of the Covenant, which contained the stone tablets of the Ten Commandments, was housed in the Holy of Holies. The wall is seen as the closest physical point to the divine presence, Shekinah. It is perceived as a sacred space where Jews can connect with God, offering prayers and a symbol of resilience, faith, and hope. It embodies the historical struggles of the Jewish people, including their longing for Jerusalem and the Temple, their symbol of unity, and acts as a reminder of their connection to their heritage. Its proximity to the Temple Mount, where the first and second temples once stood, makes it a focal point of Jewish worship. It is a pilgrimage destination for Jews worldwide, especially during religious holidays like Tisha B'Av, which commemorates the destruction of the temples. It has long been a custom for Jews to place slips of paper with wishes or prayers into the cracks of the wall, praying for the restoration of the temple. The wall attracts tourists and people of various faiths, emphasizing its role as a cross-cultural and interfaith site. It is a place where people of all backgrounds come together in a spirit of reverence and reflection. Visitors also insert written prayers into the crevices of the stones, a practice that symbolizes the longing for divine connection and intervention. These letters are then buried in the Jewish cemetery on the Mount of Olives twice a year, ahead of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, and Passover. The Mount of Olives is the site of several key events in the life of Jesus, including his ascension to heaven. The Garden of Gethsemane, located at the base of the mountain, is where Jesus' suffering began. This practice of mourning has evolved into a tradition of prayer at the wall, where individuals come to express their hopes, dreams, and sorrows. Visitors and worshippers often express their grief over the loss of the temple and the exile of Jews from their homeland. Thus, the wall serves as a place for both communal and personal mourning. There are ambient sounds, such as prayers being recited, the rustle of paper, the gentle murmur of visitors, and the blowing of the shofar. Sirens are sounded as part of Israel's Memorial Day observances. Architecturally, the Western Wall is impressive, with massive stones quarried from the nearby mountains that have stood the test of time. The wall has been a site of archaeological interest, revealing layers of history that reflect the tumultuous past of Jerusalem. The Western Wall stands as a powerful testament to the endurance of faith and the human spirit. As a symbol of resilience, the Western Wall transcends its physical structure, embodying the collective memory and aspirations of the Jewish people throughout the ages. It is a place where history, spirituality, and identity converge, allowing individuals to connect with their past and express their hopes for the future. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.